How to cook and enjoy Edikankong Soup on your weight loss journey. Don't miss this. So we have our protein, which consists of beef, dried fish, stock fish, and then we have our grinded crayfish. We also have prawns, okporo. Then we have grinded fresh pepper. We have our palm oil, and then we have periwinkle seafood. Then we have chopped pumpkin leaf, ugu leaf. We have water leaf that's already chopped. And the pot here, there's a process. We have our meat sauce that is ready for use. We add our protein inside, which includes the dry fish, the stock fish, and the beef that has already been cooked. We put it all together in the stock. This is enable it simmer together and cook properly. So we need to ensure that the meat, the fish, and the stock fish is well cooked so that we don't find it difficult to chew or enjoy our meat. So we are going to be adding a little water, just a little water to enable it boil and simmer properly together. Very little water. It's a vegetable soup. We don't want too much water in it, because when there's too much water, it becomes watery. So you simply cover it for a few minutes and allow it to cook properly. You can see it's already cooking. So it's cooking, as you can see, it's boiling. This is enable it simmer properly together. And thereafter, we're going to add our prawns. Put in our prawns. This is to further enrich the protein level. If there's one thing you need on your weight loss journey, is protein. You need to eat food that are dense in protein, and this prawns is highly rich in protein and vitamins. Then next we'll add our water leaf. We'll add the water leaf. You ensure that the water leaf is properly chopped. Then you add a palm oil. I don't want to use too much oil to reduce fat. So just a little of it that is needed, and you allow it to simmer for a while. Then you add your fresh pepper. That's what we are adding next. Fresh pepper. I prefer using fresh pepper in cooking my soup. It has a way of giving it this unique taste and aroma. And then you cover the pot so that the heat can heat from the bottom to the top and cook the water leaf properly. This will enable the water in it to actually come out quickly. And after that, we'll add your seasoning cube. If you notice, for this particular meal, I'm not going to add any extra salt. I decided to use just seasoning. After all, they contain enough salt already. If there's something you should avoid on your weight loss journey, is excess salt. Reduce the amount of salt you use to cook your food. And that is why it's also advisable that on your weight loss journey, you cook your meals by yourself. This is to reduce salt. Avoid eating out. Reduce salt intake as much as possible. This will help you a whole lot, because salt is known to retain water. So after that, we'll add the crayfish. If you have enough crayfish, that should give you enough taste. You should have enough taste in your soup through your crayfish. So make sure you have enough crayfish. Basically, our vegetable soup, you need to put enough crayfish to have good taste. And when you have enough crayfish in your food, you don't need too much of salt added. So this soup, I'm cooking it without salt. I mean, no extra salt added, apart from the salt that I've used to season the meat. There's no extra salt added. And then you add the chopped ugu leaf, which is the pumpkin leaf. We add the pumpkin leaf, and as you add, you stir it so that it can mix properly with the water leaf and the other ingredients already in the pot. So you add the ugu leaf, you stir it gently, and also be mindful of your protein. You wouldn't want to have a situation whereby all your protein is messed up, especially the fish or its pieces. So you can see that I'm stirring it with so much care. I want to enjoy my dry fish in the soup. I love fish. I love fish a lot. Okay, so I'm taking my time to stir it bit by bit so that I don't end up scattering the fish in the soup. Okay, adding extra ugu leaf to ensure that I have the feel and thickness that I want. Okay, this is actually the magic in this soup. If your water leaf is more than the ugu leaf, you are likely going to have a watery soup. We don't want that. So after that, the last thing you should add is the periwinkle. You don't need too much heat to cook that. That should be the very last thing you add. And then I added the extra crayfish for more taste. Like I said, I didn't have to use salt. I didn't want to use salt. I hardly use salt for my soup basically. And that is why I'm making this video, so that you know that you can actually prepare your meals, your soup, without salt. As much as you should reduce your salt intake as much as possible. This will greatly help you, because it's known that excess salt in our body makes our body to retain water, and that's one of the reasons why a lot of people find it difficult to lose weight. So I prefer using lots of crayfish for my soups so that I can get the taste that I want. So it tastes so nice, it feels so good. At this point, you can taste your soup, you can taste for your seasoning, for salt. I'm sure it's very okay. That's why you're not seeing me tasting it. I'm not really good in tasting soup when I'm cooking though. And then we have our meal, which is ready. I already have my swallow prepared. So this is your Edikankong Soup, made for, especially for those that want to lose weight. You can see it's not filled with oil, and it's made by Niger Weight Loss.